Yes, now, ladies and gentlemen, I am back, and it's time to talk about Monday Night Raw. So, without any further ado, let's just kick it off, right? Let's talk about some honourable mentions, some non-title feuds. We have Akira Tozawa was in Adam Pearce's office, adamant that he wants a match with Rusev next week. That's when we cut to a promo of Rusev, saying that he admires Akira Tozawa's bravery, but he's going to crush him and destroy him in order to teach him a lesson that he taught Otis, and in order to carry on with the story. I like the story that WWE are giving between Rusev and Akira Tozawa. It's great. Let's be honest. We had Sheamus come out and fight Grayson Waller after, Grayson Waller set up Austin Theory, giving Austin Theory the match that Grayson was going to have, and turned out to be Sheamus, and he beat them up. And he battered Grayson Waller. He battered him. And I loved it. I loved the crowd reaction for Sheamus, for one. That was beautiful. Thank you. Right? And on SmackDown, we had Money in the Bank qualifying matches. We had a men's and a women's. Alexa Bliss won a triple threat match over Chelsea Green and Michin to qualify. I love that. And also on SmackDown, there was Solo Squad beat LA Knight. No, not LA Knight. Solo Squad beat Jimmy Uso and who else did he beat? I can't remember who the third person was, but Solo Squad won that. So he's in the men's chamber match. So we had two qualifying matches. Apologies. We had two qualifying matches on Raw, but they were both women's matches. The first one was Roxanne Perez, Natalya, and Becky Lynch. Well, first of all, Becky Lynch and Roxanne Perez are both strong picks. I love that WWE are bringing Natalya back, keeping her active. She's been in the company that long. She should be utilised, you know what I mean? Roxanne Perez ended up getting a win, which obviously I imagine, Natalya's not going to win that match. Becky could have, but I feel like it was more suited to Roxanne Perez. She's new, she needs an opportunity. Money in the Bank is the perfect opportunity for that. And Lyra Valkyria got involved in the match and started chasing out, and Becky Lynch beating her up and whatever, because Becky obviously attacked her after the match that they had, which means Becky and Lyra's continuing, which means probably Becky's going to win the title some point down the line. But also, after Roxanne Perez won that match, Finn Balor went backstage to the Judgment Day and introduced Roxanne to the Judgment Day. Everyone was like, what's going on? And Finn Balor says, meet the newest member of the Judgment Day, Roxanne Perez. And no one was on board with it. They were all saying, what's Liv going to think of this? And he goes, no, trust me, she's new here. We're going to show her the ropes and we need more backup. So we should have Roxanne Perez, And he says Liv will be fine with it, but the rest of them aren't sure. She brought gifts for everyone, even though it was only for Dom, and Carlito got Dom some chicken nuggets. Even though he likes chicken tenders, she got him chicken nuggets. And she brought Carlito some apples. Raquel wasn't happy about it, but it's pretty cool. It's obviously not a permanent thing because they're trying to lead Finn away from Judgment Day. And I don't think I feel like Judgment Day should stay as it is. They don't need to keep adding members, then kicking out the oldest. Do you know what I mean? Because we're just, at this point, Judgment Day started Edge and Damian Priest. They added Rhea Ripley. Then Finn Balor joined and they kicked out Edge, the oldest member. Then Dom joined, and then JD joined, and then they kicked out Damian, the oldest member. Then Liv Morgan joined, and they kicked out Rhea, the oldest member. Now Raquel and Carlito have joined. Finn Balor's next. Do you know what I mean? And then it should be Dom after that. But if Balor's going, I bet you JD's going with him. Regardless, it's planting seeds of story. I don't mind it. Roxanne could probably do some good work with the Judgment Day. Putting her in the ladder match, fitting her in with the faction, giving her a storyline, trying to fit her on the main roster. That's good. It's a good way not to waste the talent. Carmelo Hayes has had a slow start on SmackDown and they've put him with The Miz. Fantastic, right? The other Money in the Bank qualifying match, another women's one, Zoe Stark, the return of Kairi Sane and Rhea Ripley. The return of Kairi Sane, very anticlimactic. The crowd sucked. The crowd was very good the whole night. They cheered people you didn't expect them to cheer, and they gave everyone an ovation, especially Rhea Ripley. She definitely got the biggest ovation of the night, but they had no respect for Kairi Sane. They did not pop one bit, right? And in the match, Zoe Stark legit shoot injured herself. She's now a solo superstar after both her tag team partners were fired, and now she shoot injured her knee. I don't know what she was doing because she screamed Kyrie as she fell, and it looked like she was going for a dropkick or a high risk move. But if Kyrie's all the way over there and turning around, why have you started the move? I don't know, because you can't see it on camera. You just heard her scream and break an knee. So, yeah. Rhea Ripley ended up getting a win. I don't know if that was the original plan, but if Zoe Stark was the original plan, god damn it, it failed. I'm guessing it was the original plan, but I don't know how I feel about the main, the main star world title contender, an established wrestler being a part of the Money in the Bank ladder match is, because you know what WWE like to do now. They had Drew McIntyre, an already established man, win Money in the Bank. People don't like that. People like when fresh new stars win Money in the Bank, and they use it to propel their career. But then again, we have Roxanne and Alexa in there. Alexa's won it before. She doesn't need to win it now. Rhea doesn't need to win it. So far, I'm picking Roxanne. Now, the men's, we've only got Solo Sikoa. And I'm still trying to think of who the third man in that match was. Rey Fenix. It was Rey Fenix. That's who it was. Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and Rey Fenix. So far, Solo Sikoa is the only man in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So I'm rooting for Solo Sikoa, but we have another triple threat match next week. But that's SmackDown. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Raw, right? So we have a bit of involvement with the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra and Becky's still going on. As for the Men's Intercontinental Championship, Penta is still feuding with the Judgment Day. AJ Styles is still chasing down Dominic Mysterio. We had a banger of a tag team match. After last week, AJ and Finn put on a classic. This week, it was AJ teaming up with Penta against Finn and JD. And it was a banger match. People who say AJ Styles is washed, you're washed. AJ Styles is amazing. And Penta and AJ make a fantastic team. But El Grande Americano got involved in the match going after Penta. And AJ Styles and Penta lost this match now. This gave Judgment Day some credit. Credit to WWE for letting Finn Balor get the pin. Finally, that man has some credibility. AJ Styles is obviously going to continue feuding with the Judgment Day, feuding with Dominic Mysterio. I don't think they're going to give the belt to AJ. Not from Dom, at least. I think they want to establish Dom as a main guy, and they want to give him some aura and some presence. So beating AJ Styles is the one. I think Finn is the one to take the title off of Dom, but that's down the line. But it looks like Penta's still feuding with El Grande Americano, because let's be honest, El Grande Americano started by going after the LWO and Rey Mysterio. He then fought Rey Fenix at WrestleMania, and now he's going after Penta. The whole story is that Chad Gable had a problem with luchadors, and then he went off to train to be a luchador, and now El Grande Americano is his luchador alter ego that he's using to destroy other luchadors. It's a great story, and people are just looking past it. People are just thinking, oh, they're bored with Chad Gable. No. It's a good story, man, right? When I get to reveal as Chad Gable, which it will be, because it wouldn't be anyone else, it makes sense, right? Regardless, as for the tag team division, last week we saw War Raiders take on the Creed Brothers. The Creed Brothers won the match thanks to the New Day, but the New Day are still feuding with the War Raiders. So we have now found out that next week on Monday Night Raw, we will get a triple threat match where the New Day defend against the Creed Brothers and War Raiders. I like this. Frequent defenses of both tag titles. SmackDown are doing a great job. Raw are doing terribly. The belts don't look as good, and the division is shit. So I like that they're doing the triple threat match. Obviously, the New Day are going to retain, and that's a good thing. The New Day should be retaining. So that's good. As for Io Sky and the Women's World Heavyweight title picture, we don't really know what's going on right now. There's no match for the future. I mean, she had the bit of thing with Roxanne and Julia. Roxanne is in a Money in the Bank ladder match now, and Julia's on SmackDown. And Rhea was on her side, and it looked like Rhea was going after that, but now Rhea's in a Money in the Bank ladder match. She had a bit of a backstage moment with Becky Lynch, but then Becky Lynch went out for her match and then has continued to feud with Lyra Valkyria. They've teased a bit of Stephanie Vaquer, Io Sky, but Stephanie Vaquer is the NXT Women's Champion. She's obviously going to stay over there on NXT. So I can't really see many options for Io Sky right now. All they did was a little backstage interview, so yeah, they better do something interesting, because she's probably one of the most talented wrestlers in the company and one of the most talented champions, and she's got the most momentum right now that she's ever had. So they need to utilize it and not waste it. Meanwhile, Jey Uso, who everyone thought would be a terrible champion, is got his hands full. He's involved with a feud with Gunther, involved in a feud with Logan Paul, and involved in a feud with Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker. He was scheduled for a main event match against Bron Breakker, but first, out came Logan Paul to cut a promo. And when he was out there cutting the promo, Jey Uso was behind him, waiting to hit him with a super kick. Because Logan Paul has ran up on him, knocked him out at least 3 times now. So Jey Uso got him back with a super kick. Then he went backstage. And I believe this is after Gunther had a promo war with Logan Paul, warning Logan Paul. Because last week, Gunther warned Jey Uso that he's going to fight the winner of that match the night after Money in the Bank, right? So he's warned Jey Uso, now he's warned Logan Paul. And then Jey Uso's hit Logan Paul with a super kick and got him back. Then Jey Uso's had a run-in backstage with Paul Heyman, where Paul Heyman has stated fact that he didn't betray Roman Reigns and CM Punk. He's still going on about it to Jey Uso. He clearly can't get it out of his head, right? But fact that it's not going to be a betrayal when Jey Uso gets beat up tonight at the hands of Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. That is all part of the plan, part of the business. And Jey Uso is facing Paul Heyman's man, Braun Breaker, so therefore it is not a betrayal. Seth Rollins had a backstage run-in with Gunther. I can't really remember what they were saying. But I think, again, Gunther was warning Seth, if he were to go after the world title, Gunther's still waiting there, because we don't have a confirmed match for Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, but Jey Uso does not have a match at Money in the Bank. He has a match at Saturday night's main event against Logan Paul, and if he wins that, he has a match the night after, or the Monday after Money in the Bank against Gunther. There's a Money in the Bank spot there where he could face Seth Rollins. So it's an option that Seth Rollins could win the title, right? Any one of these 4 men could win the title. Jey, Logan, Seth, Gunther. I pray Logan loses to Jey. Jey faces Seth in Money in the Bank. And win or lose to Seth. If Jey beats Seth at Money in the Bank, I at least want him to lose to Gunther on Monday Night Raw. But if he loses to Seth at Money in the Bank, I want Seth to beat Gunther. That's how I want it to be. I want Seth or Gunther to leave as World Heavyweight Champion. I prefer Seth because it would be fresh. We've just had Gunther. But either one of those, right? But anyways, he goes out for the match. And it was a decent match, 20-minute match. But then it ended how it said it would. Seth jumped him and started beating him up. Sammy came out, which the crowd was electric about. He was just staring them down. And then CM Punk came out. And I don't know why. I thought, because I've seen online people comparing Sammy, Punk, and Jey Uso to the night the Shield had a battle where Triple H and Randy Orton said the Plan B thing and Seth turned on the Shield. People are thinking Sammy's going to turn on Jey and Punk, and I don't know why I expected it to happen here. Completely ignoring the fact that at Saturday night's main event, Sammy and Punk will be facing Rollins and Braun. So obviously the turn is not going to happen tonight, but it could happen in the future. But regardless, that was my thoughts on Monday Night Raw. A very decent episode. Incredible match quality. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.